And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. It's Spencer Foreman and
Beth Oden.
And we're here for the WP LaunchKit Office Hours Live. That's the LaunchKit platform. We're here every Friday from about 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. This is recorded. If you're concerned and you're just dropping in to say hi, this will be available on the WP Launchify channel of YouTube, as well as in the archive at spencerforeman.com or through the members area at LaunchKit. It's important to note that what we're going to do here today is kind of a nice hybrid. Since the product and the solution that we're offering is a little new, we're going to talk today going through a deck of the things that actually you will receive when you're using the LaunchKit platform. And typically we have 3 types of customers in mind. And then we're going to do the Q&A. For those who have attended in the past, you are able to ask live questions here, which is the advantage of showing up. But you can also submit your questions if you have to run, pop them into the YouTube, or you can send them via email to help@wplaunchify.com. We've had some good turnouts in the past, but what's nice here is that this is a come as you are thing. So we're not selling something with any time limits and there's no quantity limits. What we're trying to do is educate you and everyone else that there is an alternative to buying WordPress parts from the flea market. And that's what we're calling WordPress as a service. So if you happen to be a creator, this is the solution for you. My co-host is Beth. Beth and I are working our way into what I would say is probably going to be ultimately Beth running most of the office hours going forward. But since we're still in the early stages, we're going to do these things as a sort of combination and just see how it all unfolds. We like to do this sort of while we go. So are you ready to rock, Beth?
I'm ready.
Okay. So what we've done in the past, we had a lot of folks that had shown up in the past live, but today what we're going to do is I want to just work through the slides. So let's start out with that. And I think I had set up a custom view here. There we go. That kind of maximizes the slides. And thankfully I'm using StreamYard. So this gives me an ability to walk through this. We're going to do about 20 minutes of the slides. Then we're going to talk about some of the questions that we've gotten already. And then we're going to basically fill in any details we have. All right, let's do it. So I'm Spencer Foreman, and I'm an entrepreneur and professional marketer. And I've been doing this most of my adult life, but specifically in WordPress for going on 18 years now. I just got back from WordCamp US, where I had the chance to meet a lot of the other foundational people in WordPress with whom I either had an online relationship or have done business in the past. But it was really interesting to me how 18 years seems like it went by in a second. It was a bunch of us sitting around a campfire to now WordPress really is the software that runs about half of the internet, and having let's say a fundamental effect on what happens with WordPress is really exciting to me. I didn't realize this is where this hobby was going to lead me. But my big focus is on really teaching freelancers and creators from around the world how to better present themselves, their services and their products in order to find the perfect customers. And that consultative expertise has now become the LaunchKit platform, which is to say, if you took all of the things you would have normally had to pay me for to learn about or have me help you install, it's now available in a ready-to-use format, which makes it a lot more democratized. So what is that struggle that most creators go through? Well, it's how can you take the idea for something that you want to, let's be honest, sell. Typically, it's going to be something like your course content or your coaching or your one-to-many seminars, or it may be a service. It could be even a physical product, but you want to very easily maximize the revenue and the satisfaction you get from your customers. And the reason for that is because that's the thing that essentially keeps you in business, right? I mean, sure, you could do this for charity, but the idea is as a creator, you probably aren't equipped to know intuitively what to use and how to use it. And that's the main problem that we solve. So the top 10 problems that we come across from creators who are really smart people, but are really struggling to figure out, why is it that I have to buy my car in parts instead of simply driving off the showroom with it? Number 1, hosting. Number 2, and by the way, I'm going to address each of these individually. Number 2, software. Where to get it, who to buy it from, what should it cost, why do I need this versus that? The transactional engine, where should I take the money and who should be in charge of that, and how do I do this on a recurring basis or coupons or any of those things? Number 4, how do I build a list or get leads for the idea that I'm trying to sell? Like, where are my customers? How do I keep track of them? And where do I get them into my sales funnel? Number 5, marketing and promotion. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of us are great at creating stuff, but don't necessarily want to become walking, talking billboards. But there's ways to do it that kind of fit everybody's personality and lifestyle. Number 6, membership and content. So where do I take the stuff that I want to sell and put it into a protected space or a format so that people are willing to pay me for it, but it also is easy enough for me to use without making it a full-time job. Number 7, marketing automation. This is one that gets missed often. And Beth and I were talking about this morning. We grew up, let's say, Beth, kick in on this one. We grew up in an era where if you had a shop, there was 2 things you saw. You either saw a fishbowl on the counter or you saw like one of those cork boards by the door. And they'd have a sign that says, put your business card in the fishbowl or put your thing on the cork board. And there was a reason for it. And the reason, number 1, was that in order to know who came to the shop, you offered them some freebie, like we'll have a drawing for, this or that product. That was a way of trading in the early days before the internet for a lead magnet, the person's business card with in those days, their phone number on it. And then the cork board was a way of providing like a community marketplace, which is something we also do with LaunchKit, where somebody could say, look, I'm a neighborhood shop owner or a participant. I'm a mom, I'm a dad. I want to do something and I'd like to get the attention of other community people who come to visit your shop. So it made the shop or the grocery market usually more friendly, right? Because people knew that's where they could congregate. You still have that, right? You're in Colorado. I've seen that in Colorado when I went to Boulder, right? At the grocery store. Okay. So number 8, sales funnels. We use a transactional engine called WooCommerce, which is amazing, but it's sort of set up like the Home Depot instead of like a concierge at the hotel. And we're going to show you how you can deliver your products and services in a way that make people feel like you've known them your whole life and you've helped them get exactly what they want without them having to wander the aisles, hopelessly looking for parts. Number 9, events and consultation. That is to say, if you want to sell access to you one-on-one online, or if you want to sell access like we're doing now to a one-to-many event, this is a way that mere mortals can do it, just built into the system. There's nothing else to do. And then finally, support and communication. How do you keep in touch with your list? How do you transact business and then let somebody know what they bought and what to do next? These are all built into a platform ready to use instead of you having to figure it out yourself. So the main premise of the LaunchKit platform is that it should be easier. People who are smart people, particularly our Gen Xers and above, remember a day when you didn't have all the technology online we do. And so you would have to go to a specialist, a gatekeeper, somebody who was like that concierge in the hotel to spoon feed you. I don't know about you, Beth, but like for me, it was the travel agents. In those days, they had the access to those terminals that were proprietary. And you had to know somebody, right? Like my travel agent knows more than you, right? We didn't have Expedia or anything like that. So, all right, let's go back to our list. Number 1, hosting. So the thing that's interesting about hosting is it's essentially a valueless proposition today. It's a commodity item. It is literally on the same level as text messaging from days of old. It used to be that they'd charge you 25 cents for every text message, and they could get away with that. But nobody would try that today. You get laughed, in your face. Hosting is similar. The cost of hosting is de minimis. I know myself because the LaunchKit platform not only includes the best, most optimized version of hosting, it's called a Kubernetes container. That's a lot of words. But the cost for an average customer with a reasonable business is about $4 to $5 a month. And if you really blow up and you really do some big stuff, the wholesale cost may be $15. So I include that in public as a pricing thing because what I'm saying to everyone is we're just giving you the hosting not because it costs us anything and it's like such a big deal, but rather because we're saving you all the hassle of trying to find a relationship with some hosting company that doesn't do the naughty things to you. And the naughty things, without naming names, are when they, like school bus children, pack as many of you as possible into one bus and put a bunch of things on your site called caching, which is like taking Polaroid pictures of what your pages do. And all that kind of stuff they do optimizes their business model, but it gets in the way of the other things you need to do, like having a dynamic website with automation. If things are changing every time somebody clicks or views a page, you can't be handing out Polaroid pictures of what used to be. So by eliminating that, you don't have to think about it anymore. But the best bet is that since we offer everything as a WordPress-based solution, you're not locked in, unlike a typical platform. So you get the best of the hosting, you get the best of the curation, but you're not locked into anything. You can leave with everything you've gotten from us at any time. So software kind of goes hand in hand with that. The best thing about WordPress over these last 18 years is that it started with the premise of open source. That is to say that the software itself is free for you and everyone else. When you buy software licenses or lease software licenses in the WordPress space, you're really paying for two things. You're paying for the convenience of updates and the relationship with the author who is supposed to support you. But unfortunately, with 60,000 plugins competing for attention in WordPress and no standardized top-down method, it has become the ultimate flea market of random results. You literally can see 17 people trying to sell you tacos for the same thing, like competing on the forms or competing on the learning management or competing on the transactional engine. And the problem is, since you don't know any better as a creator or care, you end up buying something from this person and something from that. You go ahead, bring it home, put it together, and you get a really bad tummy ache. And then you feel like WordPress really sucks. Sorry, that's a French word. But the idea is not that the ingredients were bad. It was that nobody was curating it and delivering it to you. And back to the car metaphor. Nobody buys a car by going to the Tesla dealer and saying, "Can I have a box of parts, please? Hey, Porsche dealer, can I have the 911 box of parts?" No, you buy the curated car that has the features put together by somebody you trust, who you believe knows what you want in a sexy car or a delicious meal. And that's what we do here. We provide you all the curated software as features as part of the platform, and you don't have to pay for any of it. It's built into the price. And better yet, we provide the personal, trusted relationship of servicing the software because we stop you from creating something that'll give you a headache or a tummy ache or a backache or any other ache, right? That's our number one problem that we solve. Number three, the transactional engine. Similarly, in WordPress, there's really one main transactional engine. It's called WooCommerce. It connects to basically every single plugin in the WordPress ecosystem, almost every service in the outside world, and it works with the biggest gateway providers like Stripe, so you can take credit cards or PayPal or whatever gateway for your country if you're not even in the United States. Now, problem is there's 85,000 things that you can do that will break that or make it go wrong. But when you know how to set it up, and better yet, when we provide it to you actually set up, you can immediately begin using the LaunchKit platform literally within seconds, because we've got it set up for a full checkout and thank you page with test keys from Stripe. So you don't even have to set it up. You can just start your whole business, start selling something like as a test in minutes, and then just put your own personal Stripe keys in for your own gateway and start taking real money. That's it. Like, again, back to the car metaphor, we don't give you a box of parts on how to build your engine. We just tune the engine with the transmission and the size of the car and the wheels and all this stuff is built as a system, but it's done because we've used the 18 years and my 40,000 plus customers and students and clients experience on what to put together. But you don't have to pay me as a consultant $300 an hour for that. Lead generation and list building. Now, this is really a big deal. That's back to the fishbowl. Most people today, especially those of us of the Gen X, are not really interested in doing so much of the social networking stuff. I personally have started to do this. I'm going to call it the lazy Spence social media marketing. I'm on a walk every morning. I get my iPhone 13 out and I take a video of myself with Instagram, which requires me to do 90 seconds or less on a topic. And then I post it. That one video unedited with little, like, it does a little translation of my voice and a little funny logo at the bottom. And that takes me 90 seconds plus maybe 3 minutes to post to 6 places: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, and so forth, or X, whatever they call it today. That's how I help to spread the message to an ever-growing audience. Because when you say things that resonate for a niche audience and you do it in your own personal way, you now need a place to collect them. You need a fishbowl, you need a billboard, you need a website. And so we built into this, ready to use, the forms and or the onboarding for a customer to add them to what we call a CRM. So you can get both cold prospects and warm leads. You can actually take a customer who gives you money. You don't have to set any of it up. You don't have to buy it or rent it from somewhere else. It's all built in, all in one. As Beth and I were talking this morning, what did you call it, Beth? It's the all-in-one system, right? That's what's so appealing to your audience, right? You can shout out if you want. You can give me a high five. Give me a high five.
High five. But I have rowdy dogs in the back. So I'm sparing you the rowdy dogs.
She's got like 16 dogs there, and they're all no, just 2. All right. Number 5, marketing and promotion. I realize my gum is going to take too much chewing effort. Marketing and promotion. Now that's the thing we're talking about, where the LaunchKit platform has one feature that is just a perfect example of this. If you have a course, or if you have some service or some coaching, anything you're selling in there, you can instantly create your product ready to sell, and then take that link and either make a sales page with one of our pre-made patterns in about 30 seconds, or you can even use a tool such as Canva, which I use for this slide deck and I use all the time, to go make a live website page or a sales page. Or remember I was saying how I use Instagram, or I use whatever. You could take the engine of your LaunchKit platform, create something that you're trying to sell, and just promote it with a link that sends people directly back into your ready to go checkout process. It costs you nothing for that. I mean, you have the base kit that includes everything along with access to the club, but there's not an increasing charge as you grow your list. There's not a charge for each transaction. There's nothing. You own it, control it. We give you all the tools to promote and market yourself in any clever way you want, and in ways that would be really hard, honestly, with normal SaaS platforms. The membership and content delivery is kind of the strong suit of WordPress in general, because WordPress is known as what we call a CMS, a content management system. But because we're using the Gutenberg blocks, we're using the Cadence theme and the Cadence blocks, we're using essentially the curated stack of the other features that include the affiliate possibilities, the learning management with courses, quizzes, and so forth, the transactional engine and sales funnels and custom thank you pages, and connecting them all together with the things you want to do, like scheduling or events or one-on-one coaching. You just don't have to think about going elsewhere to buy something at the flea market or the farmer's market to bring it back. It's all in the kit. But then with our club, we've got the office hours, we've got the email, we've got the ready to go patterns. Everything you want to do has already been done by one of my clients or customers, or our clients and customers in the past. And so we can give you the exact solution somebody either spent a lot of time and money on, or we were paid to deliver to them. And as time goes on, that marketplace is going to start including solutions from our other LaunchKit members. This is my 3rd time around building this kind of thing in WordPress, but now we have the technology to match the energy and the enthusiasm, which is really exciting to me. Marketing automation. This is the part that's a little esoteric, but it's just essentially like this. I have my show and tell. We can allow you to track what anybody on your website sees or clicks or buys or subscribes to. And we use something called tags, which is a little different than the taxonomy tags. It's just a way of keeping track, along with the field data, about what somebody's preferences are. Spence is from Chicago. He likes chocolate. He went to this webinar. He bought this product. He subscribed to this membership. And by having the tags associated with the person's user profile, we can synchronize that to our CRM under what we call a contact profile. And in doing that, we now are able to customize the journey and the follow-up automations for that person. So we send a follow-up email to somebody from Chicago that says, hey, how's Chicago doing? Or it's yellow on the website instead of purple. Or we don't offer an upsell of a product you've already bought. By the way, a few folks coming in, Otaka Solutions, good morning, good morning. So marketing automation is a big part of this, but it also helps to control the access, because instead of using a membership plugin, we simply control access with the very same tags that are given to people or taken away based upon what they've seen or clicked or purchased or done. Sales funnels is where I've cut my teeth in WordPress for the last 4 years now. This is where we take what is otherwise that Home Depot shopping experience of somebody, oh, my toilet's broken at home. I have to go to the hardware store to get some stuff. I know nothing about plumbing. I'm going to wander the aisles until something inspires me. Versus, what if the person in the orange vest had psychic powers and knew your toilet was broken, and as you're approaching the Home Depot, they rolled out with a cart. I've gotten all the parts you need with instructions laid out and hands-on help if you need it to fix your toilet. Open up your trunk. I'll put it in because I've already charged your card. That's what sales funnels do. They allow you to take somebody on a very specific journey to get the pain solution you're offering to a problem you've anticipated, versus leaving them to the burden of wandering aimlessly the aisles, hoping to find the right thing when honestly, they don't even know what they're talking about or thinking about, right? I mean, Beth and I had this conversation this morning about smart creators are smart because they spend their time making content or fixing pain points. They are not typically tinkerers in WordPress, nor do they want to be tinkerers in any platform, right? So the idea is, let's focus on what it is that you need to give them as quickly as possible. And this applies both from us to you, as well as for you to your either clients or customers, or maybe you're in the business of being somebody who services creators, like you're a WordPress implementer, or you're a teacher who your creator students need a website themselves. Those are the three types. Let me pause for a second and also clarify. So the three types of people we service with the solution. Number one are WordPress tinkerers who after 18 years realize everything is endlessly changing and breaking and changing and breaking. And it's not because it isn't awesome. It's because it is awesome. But nevertheless, it's a never-ending treadmill, and it's impossible to keep up because the ecosystem in the WordPress space is not set up to do what we're doing here. It's set up to just keep changing. And we're saying we're going to just curate out the best pieces every day, every week, until WordPress turns into its own thing, to make the stable platform. We're going to be the car manufacturer who buys the best, latest, newest parts and builds them into the car so you can have the stable car as your platform. And the second type is somebody who needs that solution for themselves. So you don't care about WordPress or parts or tinkering. I'm a creator. I need to sell my coaching, my courses, my services, my live events. And maybe you're a third type, which is you're a creator, but you teach people something that they require a website themselves. I teach people bookkeeping skills. I teach people how to be doing massage therapy. When somebody who is your student is done with your training, they're going to need a website too. So you can also offer to them as an upsell our very platform and be not only profitable, but more helpful as a result. Events and consultations, that's one that's also interesting. There's two differences here, and there's probably a third one called bookings, but let me just clarify what that means. Events are one-to-many typically, just like we're doing now. You could have 1-2 or 1-5, 1-10, but you're essentially saying there's a thing going on like a rock concert, and I'm going to be there, and so will hundreds of other people. I'm going to sell a ticket typically. Consultation is one-to-one, one to a small group. Like we're going to have a private call on Zoom and we're going to record it. And then a booking is like a piece of something that can only be taken by one group of people, like a rental of a condo or a car or a boat. We have all of that stuff built in. You don't have to think about it. And it works directly with the transactional engine to take the money. It works with the marketing automation, with the email. You don't have to think about it. It's just one of the features. And then finally, support and communication. There's two types of support and communication channels. We've simplified all of them so that you don't have to think about it. They all work through your normal email, but they are what we call transactional email or marketing email. And you can kind of think of support as part of transactional. What does that mean? When somebody gets into your sales funnel, let's say as a cold prospect, you want to follow up and let them know, like, this is what I'm giving you in exchange for having put your email in, right? Like, we're doing a drawing from that fishbowl for a free taco because you visited and let us know you were here last time. Well, you use the marketing automation capability of your LaunchKit platform for that. But let's say they buy something from you. Well, we don't need to do something special marketing. We have already built in the transactional stuff that will send them their receipt and their invoice and the access link to get into the thing that they have bought from you. And those things are also built in as part of the same system. So without having to be a tech person, you've automatically got everything set up, looking and acting as you wish without any of the normal, oh my God, days, weeks, months of frustration. Essentially, creators, whether they're you to us or your customers to you, they want to be directed. They want you to eliminate frustration. That is what the LaunchKit platform does. If you think about, let's say, gym memberships, every January, everybody, especially in the Americas, rushes out and joins a gym. Maybe not so much since COVID, but the concept is still solid. The reason is they recognize that they have something they want to do to better themselves, but they're just filled with enthusiasm in January. They pay the money because they want to be healthy. But even if they end up never going to the gym, they feel better because they got over the hump of that frustration in January of like, I did something about it finally. Look, I've got the gym membership. I'm healthy. And you know what? That's all that's involved, because some people will succeed and keep going and some people will fail, but they don't feel like they're failing because all they really wanted was the psychological benefit. So, what I try to explain to creators who are selling stuff is that I am providing to you the same thing you can provide to your customers. You are providing a human relationship that helps people get over a hump of feeling frustrated about not making progress and being confused and feeling impotent or stupid or anything. We don't need people to feel that way because it's not that hard when somebody spoon feeds you. Remember the first slide? Let's make it easy. So if you've been tinkering, stop. You don't need to. We've got it all baked in, and it's just a ridiculous price because we're not asking for anything huge here. The buy-in to this is so small as to be ridiculous. It's a simple package ready to use for all the key features that you would need as a creator. It is owned and controlled because it's built on open source software with WordPress. The benefit of the bargain includes everything that we teach and show you, as well as the community. But even if you're doing it professionally, you can use it as your laboratory or your launch pad for your customers. And it includes a free call before you get started with me. Every single one of the 40,000 plus relationships I've had has literally started with either a real phone call with me on Zoom or a live event where people ask questions. I don't know, it's because I was born in 1966, but like, I can't imagine how people do business with strangers. And I really feel that's the thing that in today's world is a differentiator when everybody else is using AI, right? I mean, they're literally. And so LaunchKit is over at wplaunchkit.com. You can literally get started by clicking a button and putting your name in for what you want the website to be. It's $97 for everything included per month. You can leave at any time, but when you compare it, you're getting $3,000 of software. You're getting unlimited email support. You're getting live office hours every Friday. You're getting the community assets. You're getting all of the accumulated goodwill of the rest of the community. But more importantly, I can 100% guarantee you, and you have a money back guarantee, that this is the easiest way to launch and grow and monetize an audience if you're a creator, with it being spoon fed to you. You can literally be up and running for most of your business needs in minutes and guaranteed same day. But most people, usually within an hour, they have pretty much everything they ever hoped for instead of being stuck and frustrated. So that is the presentation of that end. And I think what we can do is, we had a couple of questions, and then if we can see, we did pretty good, about 30 minutes. We can do a little more show and tell if we want. But today I promised everybody I was going to keep it painting a pretty picture instead of going into the details, but I'm actually happy to show some examples of stuff that are really stupid simple. So did you have any of your questions you want to ask? Because I had a couple that had come along. I think you had did you have any in your queue?
Nope,
Okay.
I don't.
I had a couple from Ann Stevenson.
Okay.
So let me grab them here. I have them on my other screen, of course, but let me switch over. Okay. Okay, so one of the things is She wants to know how she could do a pay-per-play classifieds listing service promoting events. And this is interesting because I can kind of let me show. I'm going to do a little show and tell with the screen. So I'm going to add in. I've got our working model here of the launch kit. This is like pretty much close to what folks will get. Um, by the way, just to make this clear, in case somebody is seeing this later, if you go to wplaunchkit.com and you click the Get Started button, that will take you right into essentially the thing you need to purchase, which is the $97 ready to go. Right. And you can put right here, you can put your own website name. Give me your first and last name. That's probably a good way to do it. Like, Spencer Foreman. You will be able to change the domain name of the site or point your own custom domains. But at least that way, when I go to help you or Beth and I go to help you, we'll know which site is yours. Nevertheless, so Anne is asking a question. She wants to know, how can I sell access to a listing service? So really, it starts with two basic premises. LaunchKit provides a built-in checkout mechanism ready to go with a thank you page, and it allows you to just customize an existing product or make a new product. In this case, you could make a subscription product and you just essentially pay for access to blog posts. Now, I know that sounds stupid, but you could do it as simple as that. But we also provide the ability that you could create what we call a custom post type. So you might decide that you wanted to set up, let's say, events as products and sell access to that. So let me show you how simple this whole thing is. If I go to the dashboard, we build in the capability of creating a product that is an event. So even with like no expertise whatsoever, you just go to the back here and you just say products, add new. And I'm keeping this super simple because I don't want it to turn into like, a show and tell. But if I just make the product by saying add new product, then I can give it a name, and I'll give this one a name. We'll call this, what did she say? Zillow listing or something. And by the way, when I'm on the StreamYard, everything is a little tiny bit slower. So you have to figure out. So Zillow event. What we do is we just choose event here. We give it a decision. Is this a one-time purchase or is it a subscription? Let's say it's a one-time purchase. Okay. It's maybe a virtual event or it could be an in-person event. Let's just say it's virtual. And let's say it's, I don't know, it's $100 to go to the event. Then I just click the setting here and I said, is this an event? Yes. I could give it an image. Now, the image could be from my media library, but what I like to do is take an image from somewhere else that is maybe my own library of images. So real estate, I know, because Zillow is a real estate kind of thing. Let's say we take this picture, and it should be your own picture, of course, but let's just use that as the feature. So we post it right here, featured image. And then what we can do is say when and where. Is this a singular event or sequential days? Let's say it just starts tomorrow and it starts at whatever, noon. And it goes till 1 o'clock. I think actually it'd be 1300 o'clock. Right. And then time zone, whatever. We don't have to set this, but like we can put in Chicago or America or whatever. All right. Next is you can decide if you want to allow attendees to get separate tickets and be put into your database as well. So over here, we can scroll down and we can decide, do we want to also capture the attendee's name as well as the buyer? Do we want the attendee's email and, like phone number and so forth? Now, that's it. That's all I have to do. And now I've got a sellable event that will allow me to, if I set up the other things, I can have PDFs, tickets, I can have QR codes, I can have, more details, custom attendee fields. But just that alone is enough to do two things. It gives me a landing page for the event, which, by the way, if I go over here to launch flows, I can say, I want this to be sending the people to the checkout page, and I'll send them to my current thank you page, and I want to clean up the sales page. That's it. Marketing automation wise, I could give them a special tag if they purchase. So I could say purchased Zillow event. I say add in a new tag. I say update. Now I've gotten everything I need ready to sell. I've got a product with a sales page that will add the person into the database, will collect the attendees' names, and will allow them to get the information about where to go and so on and so forth. Now, what we've got built into this as well is this really neat feature where I said I was going to send them to the checkout page. The checkout page can be customized. So if I just use this simple sales page, the checkout page has like my default layout ready to go, which I was playing with earlier today. So let me remove this little upsell doodad. I use this as a living laboratory, but let me just show you how easy it is. I was showing somebody this morning how to do an upsell. So let me just get rid of this. I'll get rid of this little extra row. And I'm otherwise good to go. And so what I've got now is the basic checkout that you get when you start with the LaunchKit that is ready to go, functional. And included in there is, you can notice, like with the LaunchKit, I can use these little capabilities to remove other products if they had already been in there. Okay, so now I've got it kind of cleaned up. Let's go back over here for a second and let's start over with as if I had started with that product itself. I add this product to the cart. It's ready to be purchased. There's no extra steps involved. If this is a new person, they will be able to add their credit card. But since I've already used this checkout, I'm logged as me, it's got my card saved, which is also really terrific. Notice that I can put in the attendee's name, including my own name. So I've got the buyer information, which is me, LaunchKit, but I can put in my attendee. Let's say it's, Beth Odin and, Beth at test.com. So now I'm adding myself as the buyer. I'm paying money to you. I'm being added to the database that you've got, your fishbowl, but I'm also adding my attendee, Beth, so that she'll get notified. She'll get her tickets. She'll get her information as well. And when the checkout is over, this is going to send me, let's pretend I'm using my new credit card. This is going to send me to that thank you page. You don't even have to set that up when you're using the LaunchKit solution. It's already set up, ready to use. So let's put in a valid date. Place the order. So it takes my money. It puts Beth and I through the checkout process, delivers us to the thank you page. Now, the neat thing is both of us will get a tag. The tag, which was purchased Zillow event, is going to give us access to content on the website or to enroll us in a course or whatever it may be. What's really neat about that is, let me show you in the back end. Let's look at myself as the buyer and so forth. But if I looked at anybody, if I go into Fluent CRM, the people who purchase, we can see everything they bought and the tags that they got. So we see here, Bob Buyer and Susie Test and so on and so forth. Everybody gets a special tag. What do I do with those tags? Well, let's say I was doing an event that was an embedded YouTube video like this. I'd simply go to a page, add new, and just embed that YouTube video or embed that StreamYard event and protect it with the tag. So here's how I do that. I could do it on the page level right here. User must be logged in and they need the tag of attendee. Because somebody bought or somebody was listed as an attendee, they'll have the ticket, the tag that lets them see this content. If they don't, they won't. They'll get a message that says something like, you must be, logged in, purchase, whatever. Okay. So that's as far as I'm going to go with that, because I promise not to get too detailed. But notice one thing. The time it took me to set up a product and to deliver something was just a matter of like 4 minutes, even with me blabbing on about it. Once you've done this once or twice, you can have a half a dozen different events set up and all of them can be customized. And then you save them the way you like them for reuse later. Another question was affiliate. How do I deal with affiliate stuff? Well, we built into the LaunchKit affiliate WP, which is kind of the standard in the industry. It allows you to give credit to people who send you either traffic or people who have sent you traffic that buys stuff. So without getting into great detail, what's neat about this is that anybody who you want to have set up as an affiliate can either register themselves or you can register them. And when you do, they'll get a special ID that means anytime they want to send somebody to your site, they just have to put their ID number at the end of it. So for example, let's say I signed up Beth as my affiliate. she has a little link at the end of the page she's sending people to for buying my product that says, and affiliate or and referral equals 1, or Beth Odin, or whatever the name is that her affiliate account has. And in doing so, the people that click that link from her get what's called a cookie. A cookie is set into their browser. And that means that for 30 days, if they ever do buy, then Beth will be credited with, the amount of money you've agreed upon. Typically it might be a percentage of the sale. Or here at the LaunchKit platform, we offer a flat $15 for everybody who you sign up to use our platform. So if you send somebody over who's your client, we'll give you $15 out of the $97 every month. That's $180 per year. Let's do one more question, and then we'll wrap it up because we're coming up on 142. Next question was, how do I deal with my domains? Spence, I've got a custom domain. Can I use that here? Absolutely. So what happens is when you sign up with the LaunchKit platform, you notice this little office hours here, this doodad. We basically give you a placeholder. So that's why I said, please use your name. It's easier for me to know. All the rest of this gibberish is just the unique thing that your site is. You will continue to work with that until you're actually done. And then let me just double check here to make sure this is working. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the back end. If I go to WP Launchify my account, let me get this set up so that I can show you on the right tab. Okay. So if you go into WP Launchify and you have a subscription with us, let's see if this is the right one. You'll see something that will essentially give you like this. These are what we call the IP addresses. We'll help you with this, by the way. But let's say you have a custom domain like spencerforeman.com. You essentially go to GoDaddy or NameSecure or wherever you've got it, and you essentially say, point that domain name to these 3 addresses using what's called the A record. Takes about a minute to do. We're happy to help you with it. But in doing so, then I could change the name of my LaunchKit site to spencerforeman.com. And that's it. So you can do it yourself. We'll do it for you. But all of the stuff is sort of built in your dashboard. You don't have to be figuring out DNS or being mysterious about it. And it literally, especially if you have like GoDaddy, it literally takes 30 seconds and maybe 1 button click. Okay. I feel like that's enough for today. Beth, do you feel like you have anything else that we haven't covered that we should talk about?
No, I think you covered it all. Sounds great.
Right. So I'm really personally excited because I got a couple things to announce. First of all, anybody who's interested, please go to wplaunchkit.com and sign up. The $97 a month is money back guarantee for the first month, so no risk. We have been growing significantly. I'm very excited that we've signed up dozens of people who are happily not only using it, but are also making use of the fact that we're here to help them with their ideas. So in this founding members sort of time period, you're getting almost the same value as a $300 consultation. But because you're using our LaunchKit platform, I'm willing and able to walk you through this. There's a couple people, including my friend Matt, who I'll leave his last name off. He's been making full use of this, like emailing me 10 times a day. And I love it because I can deliver him the exact things he needs because the LaunchKit is curated. Second of all, is that everything is included. So it's all the software, premium software. It's already hosted. You don't have to install or buy or subscribe or have relationships. But the more important thing is when you have questions, you don't have to go to any of the individual authors and hope they'll tell you what's wrong with the other person's software. I'm curating it. We're curating it. So everything is the same for everybody. And I'm guaranteeing it works because if it doesn't work, I immediately go in and find out why and fix it. And I push an update for the platform for everybody the same way. All right. I really appreciate those of you who showed up today live. And for those of you who are watching this on replay, I do encourage you to try the wplaunchkit.com website. Go press the button, check it out. The documentation Beth and I have been grinding away at is coming as we go, but you don't need the documentation to get started. Both of us are willing to hold your hand, and I can guarantee you'll be up and running in minutes. So if you've been trying other things and been frustrated, this is the way to go. And if you are wondering, well, what am I going to do if I like it and I don't want to stay? Just take it all with you. because we're not selling you the software. We're selling you the relationship and the ease of use and the simplicity. And even if you came and used it for a month and left, fantastic. But I guarantee you won't. You'll stay because you realize that this has everything you need for less cost with more benefit than if you did it on your own. We'll see you on the next live event. Thanks, Beth. Thanks, doggies. Woof, woof.
See ya.